This episode of The Republic is brought to you by Audible. For a free 30-day trial, head on over to audible.com/gamebreaker. A free month and a free book.
Gamebreaker TV.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to The Republic, episode 176. Yes, I know it's not the normal music. Somebody forgot to ask Gary for The Republic music before he headed out to GDC. That would be me. But today, March 20th, 2013, BioWare's actually giving the community what they want? What? Is this the right show? I mean, I've only been here once or twice, but I've watched a lot. This doesn't seem like par for the course. And, of course, here to sort it all out, the usual suspects. Laura Williams, how are you?
Hello! I'm excellent.
That lip gloss looks fantastic. It looks great. There it is. Also joining us, of course, as always, Mr. Larry Everett. Look at that beard. That beard, man. That's just, yes. If you're not here for pre-show, you're doing it wrong. So there's really only one thing worth talking about today, and that's a new expansion already. Just announced yesterday.
Yay, new expansion!
What? I know, they were freaking out on Twitter when it was announced. It's Galactic Strongholds. Now, we already knew housing was in the cards. You guys had talked about that on a previous show, so this was no surprise. But a whole expansion did kind of catch some people off guard, didn't it?
I was surprised that they're I'm sort of surprised that they're considering this an expansion. I expect with Galactic Starfighter and the way that they've kind of handled the expansions in the past, it's I wouldn't call it a total surprise that they're doing it as an expansion, but it's, I don't know. I don't know what you want to call it. I like that they're doing it, and I'm flabbergasted that it is as extensive as it is, and whatever they want to label it, call it DLC, call it expansion, call it a brain fart. I don't care. Just give it to me.
Well, I think we kind of expected it, though, because they did say that they were going to put out an expansion this year that was about Galactic Starfighter size. And when they announced housing, we had kind of theorized that housing would be about Galactic Starfighter size. And looking at some of the videos that they put out, I think we were right on the mark there.
All right, so let's get the big feature out of the way. The one everybody's excited about.
Capital shift! Yeah!
Laura was like, we're not even waiting. I'm not letting you segue into this. We're just going to talk about it. But honestly, though, this was the feature that everybody was asking for before the game even came out. I mean, this was on the wall of crazy. It's something we've always seen talked about on various shows.
It's something that Damian Schubert said, I will not leave BioWare until this is done. Well, I guess in August, Damian Schubert's leaving BioWare.
Peace, dude.
Did you guys actually ever think we would get them, though? You guys have speculated off and on throughout the last year or so on this. But honestly, deep down, did you think we were getting it, Laura?
Coming. No, not at all. I was like, this is something that's never going to happen. They're going to keep saying, oh, well, we want to do it, but we don't have the technology, or the engine can't handle it, or we don't have the manpower. So this is huge, huge, huge surprise.
What else could this mean? That maybe Larry, chat bubbles in the future?
Oh my gosh!
No.
Hey, come on, buddy. We got the guild ships. Now it's just chat bubbles, and it's the perfect game for you.
I've kind of given up on chat bubbles, really.
The campaign is over.
Really, they pretty much talked about that. It's going to take a total overhaul of the game engine, and the thing is, everything that they're adding, capital ships and housing and everything that they're adding, or bringing to the table, like even Galactic Starfighter that's brand new stuff. It's stuff that's added on top of what's already existing. With something like chat bubbles, you're going to have to go backward and fix the things that are part of the core of the game, and whereas these things you don't have to fix those. And so that's why I think we're never going to see chat bubbles.
Sad Larry gives up the campaign. Gives up the chat bubbles campaign.
He's throwing in the towel.
But
that's right.
But let me cue up a little music here. All is not lost. Somebody, I saw your Twitter today. Somebody might be in love with BioWare again.
I am.
Let that music soak in. Then he's got that cute look with the beard.
I have no idea what music is playing right now.
Isn't it great? That's great. You have no clue. But Larry, you tweeted that you're in love again with BioWare. This did it for you? Guild capital ships was enough?
This whole thing is amazing. As far as, I mean, they're actually giving us stuff that we've asked for, and it's really for me in my MMO experience, this kind of brings back, oh, this is what an MMO is about. This is building a world, so to speak. Even though, I mean, it's less of a world than some other places, some other games, but it's still it's allowing us to kind of be organic about what we're creating and make it our own, which is one thing that has really been lacking from BioWare, from Star Wars games.
Joking aside, too, though, this has to be really positive for the future of the game. This is a pretty big investment to be making, and it's one that the community wanted. That's gotta feel good for players that something we wanted is now in the game. I think it's awesome. Going further,
showing that they're listening to us.
Yes, exactly.
You know, you can't say, oh, they just don't listen at all. They don't care. It doesn't matter what we say. Nothing's going to influence. I mean, hey, they're putting it in, and right now it looks like they're delivering.
And
everything that I've seen looks very impressive.
This is free, right? I mean, I didn't read this stuff wrong. This actually has EA on the email I got, and also had the word free. I was a bit confused at first.
I know those two words usually don't go together.
Right. That's got to be a good sign that they're in good financial position, and we saw reports that they were doing well.
Well, I think what happened is that with Galactic Starfighter, the way they handled Galactic Starfighter, they realized that, oh, this is some way that we can increase subscriptions, make more money, and still make people happy. How is that possible? You know, and it is. It does. I mean, it did with Galactic Starfighter. People came in, they wanted to check out Galactic Starfighter. Well, in order to check out Galactic Starfighter before everybody else, you have to subscribe for a couple of months. Hey, you know what? It works. People subscribed, and they saw that happening with Galactic Starfighter. Now they're most likely going to see the same thing here with Strongholds. So,
same feeling, Laura, going forward. This has got to be a good thing.
I definitely think so. I mean, I've been pretty vocal in the past that player housing is usually not my forte because I just kind of don't really care a whole lot about decorating a house. But I do think that it brings a lot to the game. I know there are a lot of people that enjoy the storage capacity that you can have from it. There are people that are just amazing at designing homes. And, you know, in games that I've played, like Star Wars Galaxies that had player housing, you know, there were some amazing houses that you could go into. And it was just blew my mind away that somebody would sit there and take the time to do that. So, Legacy Bank, so looking forward to that more than anything else in the world. Oh my God.
And this is coming from the lady who I remember weeks and weeks back flicked off BioWare about an expansion pack. But now Laura's recaptured some of the love too. It's pretty good. What do we know about the capital ships though? I didn't see much information at all. You guys dig into it more than I do. Do we know anything?
Well, I can tell you that the capital ships are actually not going to be with the pre-launch. They are coming in the official launch, which is going to be at an unnamed date in August. So that's about that. We know that they're not going to be used in PvP yet. Yet.
Yeah.
Big emphasis on yet.
Here's
Bold
the thing.
exclamation points, underline.
Here's the thing, though.
That's
Now,
got to
I'm
be
just
the
gonna throw
worst
this out.
news all year.
Wait a second.
These things-
I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm going
right.
to throw this out there. Maybe something will stick. If I throw it out there, it might stick to something. So here's the thing. They asked, they put in their FAQ, their FAQ. They put in, one of the questions is, will the capital ships be used in PvP, in Galactic Starfighter PvP? And they put that question in and then answered it and said not at this time. So, why did they put that question in? Is that, I mean, I'm blind to it. It's very possible. I don't peruse the PvP forums as much as I probably should. But
you have
that
seen
even
some
a
of the
question?
questions they pick for the class discussions, right?
well, that's true. But I mean, is that really a thing that a lot of people have been hoping for? That they decided, hey, we should probably put that in the FAQ, or is it something that they put in the FAQ because they might be thinking about doing that?
Man, see, that's really optimistic, and I'd love to believe that. I think it was like, you know what, we are going to get asked this a bajillion times, so let's just put the answer out there that no, not right now, not yet. And that way we don't even have to deal with it. But man, you and the optimism, you are in love, man. I could see that little twinkle in your eye, Larry. It's there.
I can just see. I'm picturing right now. Just it's a Galactic Starfighter battle. It's basically an instance where your capital ship appears over here on one side of the map, and the other one is on the other side of the map. And the two guilds take their starfighters and clash in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, they're halfway there, right? I mean, we've already got in-space PvP.
Well, in the new map, here's the thing. The thing is, and this is what made me think that, well, maybe they put that in there because they're thinking about doing it, is the new map actually has capital ships in it that are battling each other. The new
Or
PvP
maybe
map.
we can end up with a map that's old school pirates where you just pull up alongside each other and get in your turrets and fire until the other side's dead.
Hard a starboard. Okay, so here's the thing, though. All they got to do now, this is it. If they do this, we're done. Best MMO ever. Now they got to let the starfighters spawn in the hangars of the capital ships and get out of them to go attack enemy ships, right? I mean, that's it. It's done. Best MMO ever if we can start doing this.
Oh, you know what else
the
they could do?
subscriptions will go through the roof.
You know what else they could do? They could have it set up like an arena. So you have boarding parties. And you access to get on somebody else's ship, and you can go and attack, and then the next round you flip it over and you go to the other group's ship and fight over there.
The shenanigans are just getting out of hand now.
Then
what you can do is you can offer parlay. And then
that's right. And then you can go and have a dance party, and exchange clothing.
Every cargo exchange clothing.
Like slaves.
Where are you going, Larry? And then what I want to be able to do is I want everybody to be able to strip down in the cargo bay.
And give makeup tips to...
Everybody should share lip gloss. That's what they should do. Just pass around the lip gloss. Again, if you're not here for pre-show, you just aren't doing the Republic right. All right, seriously, though, if this isn't meant for PvP, what's it going to be for? Just guild housing? There's got to be something else here, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's going to be, the way that I see it is going to be for guild achievements and things like that. So for instance, if you go to the Dav Garagon and the Zaya Shadow? Zaya Shadow. They have that museum on there that has all sorts of different stuff. Well, I can kind of foresee that, okay, what's going to happen is you're going to see like guild achievements within those particular areas. Guilds will have their own cantinas that they can invite or not invite people on, and that sort of thing. That's kind of what I'm seeing as what the guild capital ships would be like.
Because the expansion does include the personal housing in addition to this stuff. So I'm going to ask you here, Laura. You first, and then Larry, you as well. But Laura, you first. Ladies first. You can only pick one. Do you want personal housing, or do you want to run around on your guild ship and maybe have your own quarters on your guild ship instead?
Personal housing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're a personal housing lady. Why?
Have you seen the pictures that they've shown of the personal housing? Like, those fucking places are huge.
Yeah.
I want big, giant, floor-to-ceiling windows, and
bigger is better, always.
Yeah, and I can see
I want
chat
my
now.
own domestic staff.
Like, I'm not even looking at chat now because I can just see it now. Laura said size matters. She said size matters.
You know what? Size does matter. It really does.
When it comes to personal housing, okay, I'll go with
Absolutely.
you. See, but I'm
And
not a
box
personal.
size.
See, now I'm not a personal housing guy. Like, it's one of those things that when it comes out or when I first get access to it in any MMO, I spend a few hours in it putzing around and putting furniture and stuff in there, making it look all nice, and then I almost never touch it. Like, you should see my dimensions in Rift. They have, like, in the entryway, they're beautiful, right? They've got all the furniture and the plants, and they look great. And then the rest of the place is just freaking deserted because it's just not me. Larry, are you into the whole personal housing thing? Because Laura's just fascinated. She loves it.
I have been messing around with housing and whatnot since Star Wars Galaxies. I mean, that was freaking amazing what you could do in that, and I tried to do all sorts of crazy stuff with housing and Galaxies. So, yeah, I could do that. And in fact, I could spend hours doing that. I could spend my whole game time just doing that. So yeah.
There you go, BioWare. Totally. You heard it. You still have a sub. Just take everything else out now and just put personal housing in. Larry will still sub. He will still sub. Do you think we can maybe at least go to, like, the hangar and get on our personal ships from the guild ship?
I would hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so.
That
yeah.
kind of makes sense. I would think that they can do
I
it.
hope that the guild ships are also going to have access to get to, like, instances that they have, so you don't have to take the interfleet transport all the way to the Zioff Shadow, or if they're still going to make you do that, like, be able to just fly from there rather than having to go to the fleet and then fly. Maybe access to the Cartel Bazaar.
All right, but if they put too much access in here, fleets are deserted.
Yeah, the fleet's probably... Well, at least on our server, the fleet's going to be deserted anyways, because all the RPers want to go play on the capital ship, and they want to play in their personal houses.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be really disappointing that I won't get any Earth mistells. It's going to make it sad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean...
I'm sad thinking about that right now.
Oh, no. Should I cue up the romantic music for you again?
the sad music or whatever.
Cheer you up. It's not sad. That was romantic music.
Oh, right.
That was romantic music. So here's the thing, and you kind of brought it up, Laura. Do you think they're... I would hate to see this. Guild capital ships in some way on the Galactic Trade Network?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely think they'll have that, because you can have that in your personal ship right now as a legacy unlock. There's no way that they would not put that in your housing.
Oh, no.
I think that's a given. Same as mailbox and
they're going to... Yeah,
storage and...
You know for certain that you're going to have to pay cartel coins to get, like, the Tatooine house or the Alderaan house, which haven't been announced yet. I'm not announcing them. I'm just...
Larry, like, nice little sidebar there, asterisk. I'm not announcing these, by the way. I have no idea. But you're going to have to buy them. You're going to have to buy them.
you're going to... BioWare's going to add them. They got to come. And, they've got to have the... I mean, people... Who doesn't? What Star Wars fan really doesn't, at least at one point in their gaming career, want to have had a house on Tatooine?
And that's probably why the damn expansion is free.
Alderaan gets blown up, so you should probably not invest in a house there. Just saying.
Laura, spoilers! Shh! Shh! You spoiled it on Twitter before the show. Now you're spoiling it now. Shh!
Hey, that's a valuable piece of advice.
Don't buy property on Alderaan. Yes, that's definitely good advice. Larry, you had mentioned trophy rooms, achievements, and stuff. You think that's where they're going with this? Would you be happy if it was just a place to hang out, though? You and the RP team?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And it will be. I believe it will be. Especially, okay, they actually now, if we can take apart the video just a little bit.
Oh, feel free, sir. I'll sit back and have a beverage.
Yeah, because they had because they had they had furniture and stuff like that. Obviously, they had decorations and whatnot. And they had for each of the operations, they had statues and things along that line. But they also in the video there was somebody that was sitting on one of the couches, sitting so everybody can sit around and have a little tea party or whatever.
Or maybe it's like a cookie.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that'd be pretty awesome. Maybe because they have sort of fixed the sitting in chairs issue that was initially in the game at launch, and since this is a brand new thing, it doesn't interfere with the game at large. So they can have sitting in chairs in this, and that'd be really sweet if you can like move those chairs around, and no matter where that chair is, you can sit down in it. So and it is in the video too. There was somebody sitting down in the chair.
There were kind of random chairs placed around too. So I think that.
I just have visions of Larry watching the trailer and stopping it, backing it up a minute or two,
dude,
and then watching it
put
again.
Arrows on it.
I did. Okay, I have a video. Everybody, after this show, everybody go to youtube.com/user/hyperspacebeacon. That's my channel. The latest video on there, I've actually dissected.
He has arrows pointing at everything. Like,
let's watch this in slow motion. Look, it sits.
And I point out the guy sitting in the chair, if you don't believe me. And I also point out that there are NPCs in your house. There are actual NPCs. These are not player characters. And you can actually by the way that they're emoting, you can tell that they are not player characters because players don't have that emote. So there was actually two guys standing by the door that were at attention. You can't do that as a player. And there was a bartender wiping down the bar. Yeah, exactly. There was
Yes, I need to have my own domestic staff.
I want that emote /wipe down bar.
Wipe bar. Yeah.
I don't even have to be near anything. My character just starts wiping with his hands. I don't know. I really don't want to see the fleet deserted, but I can't imagine. But if you have access to the cartel or the Galactic Trade Network, if you have access to repair, if you have access to storage and legacy storage, then especially to Laura's point, if you have access to flashpoints and things like that directly from here, there really is no point in the fleet anymore.
There isn't, but it does. I think.
It's still kind of a staging point. Like, I think there's always going to be people that use it, and for people starting out that don't have the money to be able to get to their house or to afford to buy all the stuff for the house, they're still going to be using the fleet. I just don't want to mess around with housing.
Now, I hate to use this game as an example, but this is the best one I could think of that does the same thing. But Free Realms, it's a free-to-play game, right? It has housing that is phenomenal, and it has all sorts of perks and stuff like that you can have with housing, and you can travel to houses instantly and those kinds of things. That does not negate the social hub. Having all the housing in Rift, do dimensions negate the social hub? No, it doesn't.
But in Rift, the functionality that we're talking about on the capital ships doesn't exist. You don't have that ease of access to auction house and vendors and dungeons and things like that. I mean, we're talking about really increased functionality for these capital ships.
Well, the thing is, though, your personal ship, has that kind of functionality. Now, I can access my guild bank from my ship. I can access my personal bank from my ship. I can access the GTN from my ship. I have target dummies on my ship. I don't really need to leave my ship ever, but I kind of do. I do anyway. So
he just likes to drive around and see who's walking about.
I do. Yeah.
How else would we slow walk through the fleet on our Tauntauns?
That's right. Well, it's yeah.
Oh my God.
Can't do that if you're all holed up in your house on Nar Shaddaa, or if you're on your guild ship.
And you don't get the Erp mistels that you're really looking for.
Well, all in all, this has to be like an RPer's dream, this expansion. I mean, it's got everything crammed in here. Can you ask for something more?
The only thing I absolutely want, and this is what is going to be the make it or break it, seriously, of player housing for me and for RPers in general, is how many people can we have in the house at one time? Do they all have to be in my group? So does that mean I only have 4? Can I have 24? Do I have to have an operations group in order to get in there? Or can people just go in there freely and just hang around so I can have hundreds of people in my house?
Well, it looks like you can have more than 3 people because at least in the video, there were 2.
Laura's done her own
frames that
dissecting, Larry.
there were 2 frames that showed that they had people.
Did you just
One
say
was,
2 frames? You stopped
there
it
were 2
close
separate
enough to see
frames.
2 frames? You're awesome.
Yeah.
You 2 are great.
One of the frames was with the Karaga statue, where the guy is all sitting there cheering at that, and he's got all kinds of interesting decorations. There were 6 people in that room, and then the room with that looked like the living room with the hologram of the starship.
Yeah.
That had 5 people.
Well, see, the thing is, though, and this is what I'm concerned about with that, is that there were some outfits. No, I don't know about the one with the statues and stuff like that. But I know that one of them.
All those
had
people were
some,
cheering.
Well, they're all cheering, but your companion cheers too whenever you do that, do the emote that does the cheer. So that's the thing I'm kind of concerned about. Are we looking at companions here and people, or are we just looking at people, or are we looking at, because there are NPCs that can hang around your house, are we looking at just NPCs that happen to be, cleaning furniture or whatever?
/ wipe the bar.
Dusting.
Yeah.
And
if we do have NPCs, can we put them in the slave Leia outfits to do our dishes?
Yes, but I think you can, from what I heard. However, if they get licked by a hut, they're drunk. They're immediately,
they fall down.
They fall down, and they lean against your wall for the rest of the show. All right, I do want to talk about how we think we're going to get capital ships and who's going to be able to get them, and maybe a little bit of progression. But first, I need to tell you a little bit about our sponsor for today's show, and that's the Audibles. If you don't like to actually read, but you do like books, I know, weird combination, check out audible.com/gamebreaker. What you can do with this bad boy is you're going to get free 30 days and a free book. So you could take your pick. Tons of Star Wars books here. Now, every episode I've ever seen Gary show a Star Wars book, Larry always says, that one sucks, this one's good, that one sucks, this one's good.
Do you want me to recommend one this time?
Why don't you? Because I was going to recommend Heir to the Empire. I love the the Grand Admiral Thrawn trilogy. Love that one. Last Command to finish it off. Great book. But do you have a favorite here? Let's see if it's on Audible.
I do have one that I want to recommend because the Aaron Alston, who was he just passed away 2 weeks ago. He's a writer. He did a few X-Wing series books, but his last one he did was called Mercy Kill, and it is
what was it called?
Mercy Kill, X-Wing : Mercy Kill. That's the name of it, and it is on Audible. I did check it.
Here it is.
Yeah,
Aaron Alston, narrated by Mark Thompson.
Yeah, that one's it's not a Jedi book. It's a caper book. It's like, you got to read it. It's a caper. It's awesome. It's set in the Star Wars universe.
Well, hell, if you're using Audible, you don't even have to read it. You just have to sit there and listen while you're roaming around your new guild capital ship. You can just have it read the book to you. Fantastic. Now, some of these Star Wars books actually have whisper sync too. This Mercy Kill does not, probably because it's newer. It'll get whisper sync at some point. That feature is really cool if you have a Kindle and you have the same book on your Kindle. Allows you to go from reading the book to having Audible read it to you, back to you reading the book seamlessly. So you never have to set a good book down. You can sit there and read, got to go make dinner, turn on Whisper Sync, Audible will pick up where you left off, and then you can slap stop and sit down and read once dinner's ready. Great service. So happy to have them as a sponsor. Right now, Gamebreaker's having a little bit of some challenging times. You guys have seen the GoFundMe campaign, and a lot of people have asked, what can we do? I can't donate, but how can I help? Help Gamebreaker by supporting its sponsors. Audible's been with us for a while. We love having them here. Audible.com/Gamebreaker. You'll get 30 days free. You'll get a free audio book. And Mercy Kill is on there, recommended by Mr. Larry Everett. And it would help if I did not cover your images with the site when I faded back to you. Tech, a wonderful thing, wonderful thing. All right, so I want to talk about now how do we get the ships. We've speculated a little bit about what we think or hope that they might do. How do we get them? What kind of work is going to be involved in here? I mean, $1,000 on the cartel market? I mean, that sounds about right. $1,000 on the cartel market, boom, capital ship for you. Right there. It's that easy.
I don't think it's gonna be strictly cartel market. I do hope that they're going to hopefully capitalize, no pun intended, on the
zing.
On the furniture and stuff like that you can put in the ship. So I think you're probably looking at, you'll get, like, for instance, a guild can buy one, let's say with credits or by having a certain number of people in the guild or a certain number of active accounts in the guild and a certain number of credits, they can buy one, kind of like the guild bank. And then so that's like the default one. But if you want to get one that is super amazing and has flame stripes down the side of it, then
because that makes it go faster.
It does.
Yes. Now, Chad is pointing out, and I saw this too, they did make a point of saying, when they were talking about strongholds, that you would be able to use credits, but they didn't say that about ships at all.
Yeah.
A little worrying.
They haven't released a whole lot of information about ships. I would be surprised if they didn't have a credit option to be able to buy ships, although I suspect that it would be very expensive.
How do you want it to work, Laura? How do you want to go and get the capital ships?
Credits.
She's just like, just give me credits. Just keep it nice and easy. I'd like to see it as like
real life money.
No. I don't mean like that.
To pay for it that way.
No. I don't mean like that. I mean, I would almost like to see.
I don't really want to have to do a long guild quest line.
I think that would be great. Get everybody together, get the gang together. We're going to go earn our ship together. I mean, I get the idea if we make it super expensive, then all the guilds are,
but I'm a high
funneling
roller.
money.
Can't I just say, here, let me slip you a 20?
Oh, come on.
Or 20 million or whatever, and
I just like the idea of it being earned or worked for, and not just, hey, do we have enough money? Let's pull it together. I think it'd be neat if there was a way to acquire it. And yeah, if it involved credits at some point, fine. Obviously, you have to pay for it. But I think there should be more to this. I think it's a great opportunity.
You think you ought to get all 150 people that are in the guild or whatever, and they all have to get
no, not anything
like
that big.
And you have to collect droid scraps, and once you have enough droid scraps, then you have to go and collect HK parts and.
Well, yeah,
I don't want to do that.
Oh, come on, why not? She's like, I don't want to actually play the game. I just want the damn ship. But so then let me ask this: I would like to see that, but then that's not necessarily conducive to smaller guilds. Are smaller guilds going to be able to get these?
Right. I think that most of the limitations that are on, like for instance, guild bank and things along that line, and are not that big of limitations. So I think that if they kept the limitations pretty close to what they have for on the guild bank, then I think we'll be okay. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue just to do it based off of accounts and those kinds of things. However, I mean, it is sometimes hard to keep active accounts, especially. I hope they don't base it off of subscribed accounts, because that would kind of put me off a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be a little nasty.
Because that's the way it is now with the reputation bonus.
Right.
Is that in order to get the reputation bonus, it has to be subscribed accounts, and you have to have 50 of them or something like that. I forget the exact number, but something along that line, and that would be a little bit off-putting.
No questing for Laura. No questing.
I just want to buy it outright.
Just buy it. So, okay, how about no questing to get it, but maybe a progression system on the ship itself? A leveling mechanic, my ship is stronger than yours because we're not putting in PvP yet, but we plan to. All right, can we maybe see something like that? Would you be okay there? She said, no, I don't want to do any quests, Mike.
if my questing makes everybody else's ships smaller, I'd be good with that.
All right, let's move on. We've talked about capital ships long enough, especially since we have almost no information, so we're guessing on everything right now. But let's talk about housing, because we do actually have a ton of information on housing, and I see Laura's already looking down, referencing all the frames that she's dug up on housing. So first off, is it everything you hoped for, Laura?
It looked beautiful. Like I said, I'm normally not a fan of housing, but the screenshots that they showed looked fantastic. Big, giant rooms, big open windows, all kinds of fun stuff. So I mentioned earlier, I was talking about the amount of people that were in the room, and they showed all kinds of what looked like trophies that you could pick up to decorate your house with. Like there was a big giant golden Karaga, there was a SOA statue, there was all the little dreidels with glowing bits from SOA. And everybody knows, I think, how much I love glowing bits. There was also looks like a Terror from Beyond anomaly that was kind of hiding in the background behind one of the dreidels. That was not very good placement. There's a Kryat skull from Scum and Villainy. It looks fantastic. I'm excited. I want to decorate my house with this stuff. Although more than likely, I'll probably just end up being a hoarder, and it'll all just be stacked on top of each other.
Stacked in a corner.
Then we'll send a therapist
I
your
don't
way.
know that it'll actually look nice. It'll just kind of be stacked up there and be like, oh yeah, here, I got that.
They'll send Galactic 1-800 we got junk trucks to your house and place to tow it all away.
That's exactly right.
What about you, Larry? It sounds like it does everything Laura wants it to do. What about you?
Yeah, so far everything that I've seen looks very, very promising, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about it, because there's all sorts of little bitty nuances that they've shown in the videos that is wow, that's kind of neat. Like for instance, NPCs in the house. Really, there hasn't really been anything that I can think of where you could put an NPC in the house since you can put vendors in your houses. And those weren't really
going to be on the cartel pack, or the cartel market, by the way. In a lottery pack, you'll have to buy staff.
You know what? I'm cool with that because ultimately it's going to end up on the GTN anyway. But I'm cool. Like little things like that, and also your companions. You saw the companions in different places. It looked like you can take your companion and say stand right here, and then that companion will stand right there the whole time that it's in the house. And hopefully, what I'm really hoping for is that it's not fixed locations for different NPCs and things along that line, that you can actually move them around and place them in where you want them. And it kind of looks that way. It just based off of what we've seen in the video, kind of looks like that's the possibility. So, yep, everything I hope for.
Can one of you break this down for me? I was a little confused by this, and maybe it's just because I'm stupid. I don't know. What's the whole leaderboard thing for the personal housing, the prestige score? What's that all about? Is that just like let me go look at the top ranked houses and see what they look like type deal, or is there more to this?
See, this is what I need, because it's going to be rewarding those people that are hoarders. It's you have all your cool stuff, and the more stuff, and it's probably going to be unique stuff, so you can't just make 1,000 lamps and stick them in your house. In case
here's 7,000 bottles of lip gloss.
But I think it's the more interesting and unique items that you can put in your house, it's going to boost your score, and there's going to be a leaderboard where people can say, hey, look at this person. They collected all kinds of awesome shit. That's my guess.
If it's anything like what other MMOs have done, and other games, quite frankly, have done, it's going to be kind of like a voting system.
Yeah, that's the way I read it, was like the way Rift does it, right? Where you can tour other people's dimensions, you can't touch anything, but you can vote on it, and then they have a page where it's the top-ranked one, so you can go look at it. I almost feel like there should be more here, to Laura's point, that there should be a, holy crap, she has that? I can't believe she got a hold of that, and it's upping her score. I almost don't like the whole voting thing. Then it just becomes a popularity contest.
Yeah, they'll get negative marks because it's all just going to be random places. They're going to be like, yeah, that's just not
player comments.
aesthetically pleasing.
Player
Maybe-
comments. Expect her on TV soon, having all her shit hauled away.
I'm wondering if maybe you could take a situation where it's like you have certain things in your house, and that automatically, just by having those things in your house, gets you a certain level, and then the voting takes care of the rest.
Oh, no, I would be
maybe.
okay with that. Yeah, like a kind of an aggregate thing where
Yeah.
one influences the other. I would be okay with that. I just don't want to see it as. To me, the rankings on Rift mean nothing. I don't care.
Right.
I just go travel anyway.
See now here's the thing. I've seen certain MMOs where they will have some sort of voting system, and basically those guys. What it ends up is that those guys with the higher scores actually have better houses because people are like, wow, this is really cool, and I like to go visit other people's houses. I loved in Star Wars Galaxies. I loved in Free Realms. I loved in Rift, going just visiting other people's houses and see what they've done, because some things that people do are amazing, and I like to know which ones kind of are amazing, because sometimes you'll go into ones they're like, that's okay, you just have a box sitting on the floor. That's all right. Thank you for wasting my time.
if you like traveling around and looking, the next time you're in Rift, go into Q from Gamebreaker. Q's dimension, freaky as hell. Freaky as hell. She tried to make like this TARDIS room with like all kinds of clockwork stuff in the middle, but then the only thing in the room is this pile of decrepit, falling apart Christmas stuff, like presents and trees, like Nightmare Before Christmassy, and it's all in one frickin' pile, and then the rest of the place is empty. I know that's total sidebar, but yeah, if you're ever in Rift, check that out. Anything missing, Laura? I mean, obviously, Larry, you mentioned earlier about putting them on certain planets, and Laura, you gave us the pro tip: don't build on Alderaan. So assuming
don't build
that
on Alderaan.
at some point everybody's going to want houses on planets, anything you want to see added to this as housing grows?
Yes, I want a really nice bathroom with a whirlpool tub.
She also wants the /poop emote.
We already have
We already have that. It's chair 2.
Chair 2.
Oh God, I didn't even know that.
I also want a nice vanity and big mirror.
See, now what's going to happen is I'm going to log in after the show because I need to see chair 2.
Yeah, you got to see chair 2.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's the sitting on the toilet emote. That's
What
it
about
is.
you, Larry? Anything you want to see added?
Yeah, the only thing I can like off the top of my head see that needs to happen is we need to be able to get to other planets. I mean, I love Nar Shaddaa. In fact, that's where I'm going to set up my house. Is going to be on Nar Shaddaa. But I think that for the sake of everybody else and for the sake of choice, we need to have other planets. You know, let's put one on Hutta. Let's put one on
Voss! Oh!
Voss. Yeah,
I've
absolutely.
always said that if they ever put housing in, that I was going to build a summer house on Voss. I would like a little house on Voss.
Little house on Voss.
All right, so how you get the personal housing, we talked about how to get the capital ships, but how you get the personal housing or the strongholds, we mentioned is credits or cartel coins. And that's fine, but what are the subscribers getting here? There's some type of like special deal for them, Laura.
Yes, so if you are subscribed by May 11th, I believe it is. Yes. You have to be a subscriber on May 11th. You will get, on early access, which starts June 24th, a free house on Nar Shaddaa. It has a starting value of $250,000 or credits, and you also get 3 additional rooms unlocked for a total of 1.5 million credits.
Holy hell.
That is very, very nice.
Wait, what's the date? Today's the 20th.
Very nice.
Last time I logged in was Sunday. I get a lucky 7 mount now, don't I?
Yes, you do.
That was Monday, right? The 17th.
Yes, and it's
It
awesome.
poops coins.
How is it? I
It's
haven't
going
logged in since Sunday, so I didn't see it. Is it badass?
It glows and it poops coins.
Nice.
Great.
And when you get on and off, it makes the coin jingling sound.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That's pretty sweet too.
Nice. Yeah, so now I got 2 things I gotta check out.
Yes, Salt. I also want a room full of naked Twi'leks.
Well,
Well,
I thought that was a given. I thought everybody wanted that.
I thought that came
Well,
with
just
the
in
house.
case.
If it doesn't, then
If
let's
that's
go
not
back.
on my Nar Shaddaa house.
Right. I want to go back to the previous question about what needs to be added, and it's that. That needs to be added right now before it comes out.
That should be on every Nar Shaddaa
It's a
house.
requirement. It's
Yeah.
a requirement. It brings up property values when you have
Right.
that
It
going
does.
on. It brings
It
up
does.
the
It
property
totally does.
values.
I need something to keep my guests entertained.
All right, now we're talking the Republic here, but I do have to sidetrack just for 1 minute, guys, to let you know about a deal we've got going on before we talk about decorations. About another MMO that's coming up soon. We had one for Elder Scrolls Online. You can check out the Game Breaker page if you're interested in that. But we just recently acquired one for WildStar. If you're planning to pre-order WildStar, you definitely need to do it here. GameBreaker.tv/deals. Check out that page, even if you're not planning to buy WildStar, because there's tons of different game deals that we get on there that you can really take advantage of. So right now, if you go to GameBreaker.tv/deals and you pre-order WildStar, 20% off. Whoosh. Right off the bat. The game's not even out yet, and you can already save some money on it. We did the same thing for Elder Scrolls. We had Titanfall there for a little while. The problem with these is we don't know when they expire. So if you're planning to pre-order, definitely take advantage of it. GameBreaker.tv/deals. It's kind of a no-brainer. If you were going to pre-order it anyway with no physical collector's edition, then why not pre-order it and get 20% off? There's no reason not to. Check out that page. WildStar's up there now for you, and then obviously there's other deals. Feel free to check them out as well. And now back to Star Wars. See,
Woo, Chua!
it was all space. It was all space. All right, so you had mentioned earlier, Laura, and you too, Larry, that you imagined the cartel market is going to be a siphon for those furnishings, for the paintings, for those side items there. And it sounded like all the decorations are going to be part of that. That didn't surprise anybody,
No,
I don't
not
think.
all.
Not all.
Not all.
Not all?
Not all. Although
All right.
I do think there are going to be a lot of them on there, which is very, very convenient because subscribers are also getting a 1,500 cartel bonus. There's 2 different points that you have to be subscribed at. One is April 2nd to receive 500, and the other is May 4th to receive 1,000. So I can almost guarantee that there is going to be a furniture-themed cartel pack that's going to get dropped. But crafters are going to be able to build things as well. So yay, this is huge for crafters. They didn't say what profession is going to get it yet. Hopefully they'll kind of spread some love around. Yes, absolutely. TC, Team Chua. Woo!
Finally, synth weavers will actually be able to do something.
Actually, I think it's probably going to be Artifice, because that kind of sounds like something Artifice would do is...
Artifice already
Making-
does something, though. Synthweaver does nothing. They need to do something.
You make cloth clothes.
Yeah, sure.
And now they make couches.
And yeah, that's right.
And now you can make wonderful duvet covers for the bed.
Yeah, they'll make rugs and duvets.
How about a lovely throw? for the
I don't think
couch?
this stuff being on the cartel market shocks anybody, does it? I mean, and it
No.
almost feels right. It feels like they're implementing this correctly, where the housing is going to be available to everybody. If you subscribe, you're going to get some bonuses, and all the supplemental things for the houses you can acquire one way or the other in the cartel option. It's almost like they learned how to do free-to-play when it came to this.
I know, right?
Right, because it's just like from top to bottom, this was the way the whole game should be operating.
Yeah, I mean, you could. It's really great that you can. You'll be able to get furnishing from just about everything that you do because they're going to drop from NPCs. They're going to drop from raids and flashpoints. They're going to, you're going to be able
Rep
to craft
items,
them.
you'll be able to buy
yeah,
them.
Rep items. They're
PvP.
going to just everywhere. Anything that you do is going to have a possibility of dropping.
I like
something.
Laura's listing them off, and then Larry's like, "I said everywhere. I said everywhere.
That is everywhere.
PvP is part of everywhere. Damn it." No, but it just makes
get 'em from
sense.
space.
They're doing kudos. I mean, we've had hosts swear at BioWare on the show, so it's important that this time we need to
I don't know
say
who that was.
I don't know who it was either. Some lady with lip gloss. But I think it's important to say, hey, they got this one right. Gotta recognize it. They got it right finally.
They
Definitely the two big
well,
selling points of the expansion.
Every aspect of it they've gotten right. They've gotten the release of it right, because all right, they're going to give it to everybody eventually, right?
Yeah.
The tiered subscription, that's cool, and they've just
and then a
props to
huge
BioWare.
perk for subscribers to be giving them a house on Nashada. That's amazing.
And they've added value to the subscription, which is one thing that is always the biggest thing with me. I want to make sure that that I'm getting the most out of being subscribed, and that it's not better off that I unsubscribe and become preferred and buy everything with cartel coins or something along that line. So I think that they're adding value to this subscription, and they're giving everybody an opportunity to decorate their house well.
I love how jaded chat is.
No,
Buck says
Ace.
EA obviously had nothing to do with this.
Ace, you're going to be able to hang the skins of your enemies upon your walls.
I'm done with that.
Eco in chat says, well, a broken clock is right twice a day. Just fantastic how jaded chat is.
Oh, small hot ball court. That would be fun.
Oh.
Well, that would be cool.
I would PvP
Yeah,
for
that'd be
that.
cool. Are you? Well, that's another big question.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Are you
going to
be able to
because I
PvP?
want another Rancor.
Are you gonna be able to PvP in your house? Are you gonna be able to duels people or whatever?
I don't see why not. I mean,
Yeah,
can you see a valid reason that they wouldn't let you?
Well, I can't, but I can't see a valid reason.
Fleet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I can't see a valid reason for them not to have it on the fleet, but they do. I mean, you can't PvP on the fleet, but so yeah, hopefully you'll be able to PvP there. That'd be sweet. Or at least duel.
Well, I would think that the fleet, the reason, at least initially, why you couldn't would have been a highly populated area to be throwing hundreds of animations onto at any given time with people dueling. Maybe now not so much because everybody's kind of spread away from the fleet.
Everybody's on their ships.
Right, everybody's on their damn ships. But I think it probably at one point at least made sense to not have it in the fleet. I can't think of a reason. Again, we keep talking about Rift because to be honest, Rift did a really nice job with their housing too, their dimensions. They're opening that whole thing up to being able to create your own PvP team matches, where you can build in your dimension a battlefield and then invite a bunch of people to have a PvP match, not just a duel. So
Are you listening, BioWare? Are you listening?
Right. I said kind of a no-brainer if you could do it. It's fantastic. Definitely the two biggest selling points of the expansion, the capital ships and the player housing. I don't think there's any question about that. But, Laura, you teased it earlier. You're finally getting your freaking legacy storage.
Yay! Legacy storage! Oh my gosh!
How long have you wanted this?
Since the game launched. I'm so happy. I was more excited when I read that they were adding legacy storage than I was for any other news the other day.
She was like, capital ships, oh that's cool, but freaking legacy storage, finally!
Legacy storage, I thought I was going to have an orgasm. It was just that much.
I've lost all control, Gary. I'm sorry. I tried to fill in for you this week while you're at GDC, and I've just lost all control. They took over. The inmates are running the asylum. All right, so when does this whole thing drop? Because they're doing that whole tiered release again with the subscribers and then the preferreds and then the free. How's this all coming down?
So early access for subscribers starts on June 24th. Preferred access starts July 29th, and then the official launch is in August, and they have not given a date for that yet. And I've actually had sad face because legacy storage is not coming until August.
Man, that's a tease. Laura, we're going to give you the legacy storage, but you got 5 months. Enjoy.
Yeah.
You know what? It's okay.
But what it does is
as long as it comes in 2.8, I will be happy.
See, what it does, it gives you.
Don't be an Indian giver. Don't take it away from me.
It gives you an opportunity to play ESO and hate that, and then play WildStar and hate that and come back to Tor. That's what it does.
Is that the plan? That's like
That's
we're
the plan.
gonna launch in August. By that time, Issa will be
Everybody's
free
gonna-
to play, and
He still will be free to play.
Issa will be free to play, and
and Free Kills
WildStar
are
will
playing
be too
WildStar.
hard.
And yeah.
Mr. Larry Everett, you can follow him on the Twitters at Shadow. That's SHADDOE. Also over at Massively, Hyperspace Beacon, YouTube. He's all over the damn
Everywhere.
place. I don't even know how he does it all.
Just follow me on Twitter and hopefully
There you
I can
go.
keep up with myself.
There, and he'll proclaim his love for BioWare to you.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Laura Williams at VoidMinx, VoidMynx. You can follow her on the Twitters there as well. Not proclaiming her love for BioWare, but proclaiming her love for legacy storage.
Oh, it's the best. Nothing has made me happier.
I'm Mike Byrne, subbing in for Gary this week. You can follow me on Twitter at MagicMan1. That's MAGICKMANN1, and on a number of other shows here on Game Breaker. Quick announcement. This coming week, 24th into the 25th. It'll start Monday, March 24th at 7 p.m. Pacific. That's 10 Eastern. On the Game Breaker Nation stream, we will be doing a midnight release show for Diablo 3's Reaper of Souls. That is not on the official Game Breaker stream you're watching right now. You have to follow twitch.tv/GBNation to follow that stream. We'll be going live about 10 Eastern with our show where we talk about, break down all the changes and what we like, what we don't like, and then we're going to get into gameplay when we're finally able to. That'll be myself, Magic Man, Kiggles from After Dark, and crew. So make sure you join us. Follow twitch.tv/GBNation, and if you're not in the Game Breaker Nation yet, you probably should be. Plenty of games and guilds for you to check out. Until next time, gang, stay safe. We'll see you out on the servers.